All right, here we go. Cruising, having a good time. Neat little camera angle. Okay, so, oh, we have a beep. We're counting down. So he's kind of all over the place, but not a big deal. He's off to the sides. I like being in the middle. Oh, sharp right, sharp left turn coming up ahead. What are we doing? I think this is a new rider just not really paying attention. He's all over the place. He just entered this way too fast. What are we... So, real quick. Yeah, so it's sheepdog number, drunk, right? Drunk, question mark. Now, a new rider, you ever seen somebody trying to learn something new? They look drunk. They're like, what are you doing? You're fumbling around. A new rider all over the place. All they're doing is maintaining their speed and the road is changing. Okay, so that's what a new rider typically does, is they maintain the speed and the road changes. And when you get a little bit more experience, you start to realize, hey, I should modulate my speed with the road changes, right? Now, you should be learning that in a parking lot first. You should be learning that in your neighborhood first. Don't take it out on the road like this and then learn it out on the road like this, because this is what happens. So that's why in the new book, I take you from just literally your driveway, then the street that you're on, and then the neighborhood, and then regular road to get to a parking lot, and then we go into a parking lot and we practice your test. And then if you already know how to do that, practice with the Smart Rider drills, 24 different drills. You know, there's 24 of them in here, and you can actually practice modulating speed for different diameters and different things. You basically don't want to be practicing out on the road with traffic. So he's maintaining his speed the whole way. We have a sharp right turn, sharp left turn. He just wants to go straight, so he crosses over the line. He should have modulated his speed to stay in his lane. Okay, back in his lane. Now we should modulate our speed coming up to this sharp right turn. There's a sharp left one coming up too. We didn't. We're going too fast. Now we went straight. It's like, well, it's not a big deal. Back there, I did that and no cars were coming. It's a blind corner. We can't see what's around this corner. And all of a sudden he sees it. Now he's grabbing everything and he's smashing that rear brake. And that's why he does that. That's why he fishtails, because he slammed that rear brake. Don't practice on the road. Practice in a parking lot if you already know how to ride. And if you don't know how to ride, get the Riding Smart book and you'll learn how to practice in a very easy, progressive way until you finally leave your neighborhood. Whoa.
Not everything can be predicted.
Oh.
HYT 1766. Stop!
Perfect.
Stop!
You got the information, you said it out loud. Part of what we do here with position for safety, locate hazardous situations, okay? All this other stuff. What we do is we come up to the stop sign and we stop behind the line, right? Okay? Now, here's the problem with that. Now, that's what you're supposed to do, and I'm sure he did that. I'm going to assume Avalanche did this. So he stopped there, but couldn't see past this or the tree trunk for any traffic coming out this way, right? Could not see. That is a line of sight issue. There's a line of sight issue there. So what he did was opened up the view, and this is what they teach you in the MSF, and I mention it in my book, open up the view. So we're creeping up to here. Now we can see with line of sight. Now we can see around that corner. But if we're creeping up and staying right here, we have to be pretty sure that we're going to get going real soon, especially if it's a right-handed turn. Pretty simple. Because the problem that we have here, and you typically see this with larger vehicles, since we're sitting out so much,
Episode starts with
we have an issue with people cutting too soon to get into the lane and hitting us. A lot of people don't do these wider turns, which they should be doing. They should be doing wider turns. They're not. So that's one of the issues. Now with big trucks and trailers, they do try to make this wide turn, but their back end gets super close. That's why I don't like sticking out too much. So overall, pretty bad situation. Now we can say what we want to say about an elderly driver not seeing, not really paying attention, not really knowing what's going on. We can kind of go through that, but what can we do for us as the motorcycle rider? And so if we get hit
surprises and not everything
like this, good job getting off the bike so we're not, smashed in our leg.
So take a look and ride safe.
What the?
So he's coming up to here and he has that camera on. So always, if you have the camera on, think about that. I have a camera on. But the camera isn't going to pick up the license plate. Not this one, it could pick it up, but not that one very well.
Hey, stop. HYT 1766.
So say that on camera because your eyes are going to be better than the camera. So say it out loud so the camera at least picks up your audio. And so now you have the make and model of the vehicle and the license plate in case they do take off. And then now you can file an insurance claim, do a police report with that information. And then if they take off, they take off. Okay, so you're still going to get that information, but now you're not escalating and riding your bike that possibly is damaged at a higher speed and then now crashing and getting hurt because now your bike's all damaged. Here we go around a blind corner. Can't see much. We have a line of sight issue. What's going to happen? We don't know. But we're riding 130 kilometers an hour. That's 80 miles per hour. 80 miles per hour around corners. Okay, slow down for this one. Oh, this is a sharper one. We had to layer down. We had to layer down because the hedge and the guardrail is coming right at me. We had to lay it down. You see how this turn right here? Oh, easy, nice little wide arcing turn. Pretty wide arcing turn. Whoa, that turn does not look the same. It looks way sharper, and I just accelerated after the turn. I did the outside, inside, outside. I slowed it down until I got to the apex, and then I accelerated out. Because I'm a road racer. I watch MotoGP. I watch all these people on YouTube that tell me this is what I got to do. Oh, but what's this? Uh-oh, I'm accelerating into a very sharp 90-degree turn. Uh-oh. I don't know what to do for that. Nobody's ever taught me that. They only taught me how to make corners fast. Nobody taught me how to deal with this. Panic. Boom. Smash the front brake. Panicked. Dumps the bike. Motorcycle training in YouTube or whatever, anywhere you get your training, the main goal of motorcycle training nowadays is how to get through the road, how to get home, how to get whatever as efficiently as possible. Now, efficiently as possible in the motorcycle culture, it means fast as possible. Now, I am teaching how to get home efficiently as possible, but my way of efficiency is getting home. I want you to get home. I don't want you to get home as fast as possible. That's not efficiency in my mind. Efficiency in my mind is making it home without damage, without close calls, without crashes, without any issues. If it takes you a little bit longer to get home, you still get home. That's efficient riding to me. I'm trying to do something different here when it comes to riding a motorcycle. I don't care about efficiency in speed. I care about efficiency in preserving your life. So right here, we've been going super fast, trying to get like efficient, and then here we failed. So are you going to get home faster now? You saved like 30 seconds over the course of your 30-minute ride by speeding, and now you're going to spend 30 minutes on the side of the road. Did you get home fast? No. You got home later than you would with injuries, with damage to your bike. So if you just do the speed limit and you just cruise through and treat traffic and road surface hazards and drivers as like obstacles in a river and you're water and you're just kind of going around everything, you're going to make it home. Go cruising through here. Mr. Sticky Fingers, interesting name. All over the place. That's a basically a U-turn. Oh. So this is a lack of experience when it comes to a turn like that. Let's go back just a little bit here. So he's able to do the turn. So he's coming into the turn. He thinks this is what the turn's gonna do. So he's turning what he thinks it'll do. So that's the first part right there. So he thought that's what he needed to do, and he cut in a little too much. So now he's gonna go a little bit wider. He's like, I'm gonna put myself and correct and make myself go a little bit wider. Right there. And he's like, okay, well, now I got pushed out. I need to get back in, but I'm going too fast. So this is where entering at the appropriate speed sets you up throughout the turn. He's making corrections in the middle of the turn because he's going too fast. So slow it down. Just if it's a weird looking corner, slow it down more than you think you need, and then you can always add later. It's like cooking. It's like, well, I like salt, so I'm going to put a bunch of salt in it. Well, you can't take the salt out of the dish anymore. And so now you're stuck with it. Now you got to make more to dilute the salt. So if you're making something, you're like, I like salt. I'm going to put a little bit of salt. Make the food, taste it. Needs a little bit more salt. A little bit more salt. Needs a little bit more salt. Perfect. That's what you do when it comes to cooking. You don't just dump a bunch of salt in and now you're like, it's way too salty. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. Same thing with corners. You're coming into a corner, you're like, I like speed. I'm going to give it a lot of speed. Ah, crap. I messed it all up because I gave it too much. You go into the corner, you're like, I like speed. A little bit of speed. Making through the corner, I think I could do a little bit more. A little bit more speed. I think I could do a little bit more. Oh, perfect. Same thing. Do the little bit first. Just a little bit.